welcome to my channel. I wanted to do an update on, since my last video I talked about starting Decapeptyl, and I'm just off out tonight, but I thought it was a good opportunity to sort of talk about my experiences the last 5 or 6 weeks, because Decapeptyl, to start off with, Decapeptyl is an injection that reduces your testosterone levels so that they're within the range of a female's, because up until this point, for 4.5 years, I'd been having anti-androgens, but also estrogens, so my testosterone levels were probably higher than what the traditional transgender person should be. But I wasn't unhappy with where I was, and it was offered to me after not being offered, so I thought, I believe in looking under every rock, because this is kind of like a journey of femininity. I didn't know how far. I knew that I never wanted to have SRS, but I didn't know how far I wanted to go in the feminization process. So I took it, and I was expecting it not to be an easy ride, because it's quite a change in your body, and I knew there'd be sort of some sort of effects, but I wasn't prepared for the full extent, to be honest. So this doesn't happen to everyone, I'm sure, but this certainly happened to me. So some of the side effects I got were physical wise. My ankle was really sore for a couple of days in the first sort of week, where I was limping around, which I understand is a side effect. That then transferred to my hip, which was for about 3 or 4 days quite sore. Other issues, it's not so bad now, but at the beginning I was up going to the toilet all the time. Hot flushes are on the increase, so I've had more hot flushes than at any period since my transition. What else? I think probably the biggest effect that's really sort of made me rethink the whole thing is my mood. It really, now I'm someone who feeds my mind with, I read a lot of positivity and spirituality, and I believe that we're in control of our own minds and we can fill it with as much positivity as possible. One of the things that this experience has taught me is, doesn't matter how much positivity you've got rattling around in your brain, if you're altering the chemistry, it's going to make it very difficult. So you're interfering with your body's ability to do what it needs to do. So for me, this has been a very tough 5 weeks, particularly at the beginning, where I was really struggling. Like, I didn't know, I just started a new job and I was finding it really difficult. I didn't know how much of it was because of the job and how much of it was because of the Decapeptyl. So it was really difficult. Last Sunday, because I read an article that progesterone can help balance your mood, and I was desperate. I would have tried anything. I already had some progesterone on the side. I'd been saving until after the Decapeptyl, because I just wanted to experience Decapeptyl and see, how that affected me. But I got to a point where I would try anything to try and sort of make myself feel a little bit better. So last Sunday night I took the progesterone, and I was astounded by how much of a difference it made. So I know it says that it initially I knew that it had great feminizing effects and increases boob growth and your libido and stuff like that. But I guess previously I hadn't really had too much of a problem with my moods or sleep. But it says it helps with both of those, and I can confirm it definitely did, because I was really struggling with my moods, and it kind of balanced me out. Now what this has made me realise is that Decapeptyl is probably not for me. I've read a lot of people online say that the beginning part of taking Decapeptyl, which I haven't spoken about, the really beginning bit, they didn't enjoy, and I really enjoyed it, but that was the testosterone spike. So that made me think that possibly eliminating testosterone from myself completely was not the right thing to do, and maybe all these side effects were, I don't know, were a way of sort of showing me that this isn't where my land lies. Because at the end of the day, life is about trying to experience as many positive feelings and emotions as you can in a given day. Now if I can put something in my body that makes me feel better, great, But if it's going to have the opposite impact, it's lovely that it feminizes me, but if it makes me feel bad, it kind of is counterproductive. So for me personally, I think I've reached as far as I want to go with regards to femininity. I'm going to continue with estrogen, but I think Decapeptyl, unless something changes in the next year, I think I'm going to knock it on the head, because it's just been too much of a wake-up call for me that this isn't my path. I respect everyone else who it is for, and for some people it very much is. I know a lot of friends that have found it very sort of liberating, and they've enjoyed it. But for me, it's kind of like, okay, I've gone further than I need to go here, and this has become too uncomfortable. So I want to get back to enjoying life, and expressing femininity to promote, to sort of enhance my life, rather than it being a reason why my life might be sort of being dragged down. So that's where I am at the moment. Unfortunately, once you've had the injection, it's in your system for 12 weeks. So I've got the suppression for another 6 or 7 weeks. So hopefully I'll have more progesterone to sort of get me through that time, which also I'll probably want to, because of how positive an impact I've had with progesterone. That's something I want to keep using as well if I can. But for now, I think where my land lies at the moment, for me, Decapeptyl was one step too far, and I'm glad I found out. I'm glad I looked under that rock, because I wouldn't have liked to have got into the future and wondered, what if, So I'm glad I've understood, experienced firsthand how it feels. And then people may say that if you'd have just stuck with it for a while, the symptoms go away. But for me, I saw it as a sign, because it just took me way off where I want to be mentally and spiritually, so and emotionally. So it was too big a cost, I think, for femininity. I feel like like I said in some of my previous videos, I've already got to where I've got to the top of the mountain with regards to how feminine I want to get. So I never really, this was more like an exploratory look under a rock. And yeah, that's all for now. But yes, until my next video, thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more videos. Bye.